question that the team have kept her up to the mark with 5 weeks between runs. She's come on really nicely since her first up run. Fitness won't be a concern for her.
Can Mr. Brightside become the first to go back-to-back in the All-Star Mile and stand head and shoulders above Mystic Journey, Regal Power, Mugatoo and Zaki? Jane, your pick of the yard for the All-Star Mile.
Well, I think Mr. Brightside would have had to do something out of the ordinary for me not to have stuck with him here today. I know he's very short, deserves to be, but his parade, if anything, it was better than last start. And it's just the horse. He thrives with racing. He gets better with every run that he has in a campaign. I thought that he was his usual cool, calm, collected self in the yard, and he's going to give it his best shot out there. He goes on top. Cascadian was the one for me that I thought might give him a run for his money. He was attentive. He was purposeful in the yard. His action was perfect, and he looked nice and fit. One ahead of the two. Mick Price with me to have a chat about Ayrton. There's no doubt you've done your job as a trainer. The horse looks absolutely fantastic. Didn't get any luck last start. I'm imagining that he come out of that run pretty good.
Yeah, he did. I suppose that's one benefit of not being fully tested. The horses usually pull up well. Look, he's had a good couple of weeks. I haven't tried to improve him at this point in his prep. You know, he's done some nice work. He hasn't been over-galloped, though. He's certainly got plenty of condition on him. He's nice and full of himself and nice and fresh. And I would say the race will work out really well for him, the way it sort of maps. You know, there's plenty of go-forward horses, big prize money race. So I think there'll be a couple of jocks with the accelerator down early, and he should be off the fence, off the speed. So fingers crossed.
Probably fair to say that he's going to have to make a step up to be competitive against some of the horses he faces today. But as you've already mentioned, he does get some things in his favour in terms of the speed map.
Look, if the two genuine Group 1 horses, Pride of Jenni and Brightside, run up to their best, nothing in this race will beat them. But it is a horse race, and we are optimists, and it'll be great to run well.
All the best with him.
Thanks, Jane.
Kieran Maher also with us. He's got a couple of runners going around in the All-Star Mile. Pride of Jenni's the more obvious one that we're going to speak about. A lot of questions around the 5 weeks between runs, but people should know by now that you know how to condition a horse.
Yeah, well, she puts a lot into her races. She's slightly different to most other horses, so when she did run so big first up, you know, it's often a cardinal sin to run them back too quick. So she's done everything we've asked of her. Very happy with her. Very similar weight, and her work's been spot on.
Did you feel like she felt that first up run?
Not really, but just given how she did it, how she come through it was fine, but just the way she did it, you know, we would have to take something out of her.
We know you've got a really fast horse on your hands in terms of the sectionals that she can run and sustain, but how do you approach a race when there's got a lot of speed in it like we're seeing on paper today?
Well, the main thing is with her, as we've seen, is to keep it smooth. And so I said to Deck, you know, he knows her very well. I said, just trust yourself, trust her, and don't ride your own race, really. I know it can be tricky, but in Deck we trust.
Very quickly, Holy Man.
Great order. I had a super prep, and he'll have to lift a bit here, but he looks like a weight for Angels.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Good luck to Kieran Maher with his runners. Michael Walker, quickly, we considered the options for Craig Williams and Mr. Brightside at the start of the day. Based on what we've seen, where do you think he'll be going to the first turn?
I think he's going to go back. I think he'll be sort of mid to back, reason being he needs to get out and he's drawn in the right part of the track, but that's what I think he'll do.
To Matt Hill for his call of the 6th Sharp EIT All-Star Mile.
For 1,600 metres, last year's winner of the race, Pride of Jenni. Getting the last minute towel down as she's walked forward for Declan Bates. Pride of Jenni goes in. And here's Dom DeShoots to complete the line. The All-Star Mile, the richest mile race on turf. All-Star Mile 6 about to get underway. And they're racing. And Puntura anticipated the start and got a flyer early, the Kiwi, with a tractable the inside. Pride of Jenni is pushing up. Ayrton isn't too far away. And where's Buffalo River at this stage? About 7th and looking to force forward. Pride of Jenni using plenty of the track. A tractable led with 1,200 metres to go, but Pride of Jenni is going to take over and lead. Buffalo River, as it usually does, is surging up, and Desert Lightning is going to get the 1-1 in 4th place. A length and a half, Holy Mans and Puntura. They were followed by midfield, Dom to Shoot, 3 wide around Ayrton, pinstriped. A length, Mr. Brightside, who's 3rd last, dragged back from gate 11. 2.5 lengths, Munamek and Cascadian last. Pride of Jenni, they've run it hard. 850 metres to go by 2 lengths to Buffalo River, a brutal tempo. 3 further back, a tractable, a length and a quarter, Desert Lightning niggled at. They were followed by Holy Man's Puntura. Then came Dom to Shoot, pinstriped Ayrton. Mr. Brightside would be at least 15 off the lead, maybe 20. 2 further back in the field, Munamek and Cascadian. So it's Pride of Jenni coming up towards the corner at the 400 metres. 2 lengths in front. From in 2nd place, Buffalo River in its slipstream. 4 lengths away, Holy Man's, and then came a tractable pinstripe. Mr. Brightside brought to the outside, 7 or 8 off Pride of Jenni, who still paddles in front, but we know she keeps going at the 200. Pride of Jenni, 3 lengths Buffalo River. Now Mr. Brightside and Cascadian coming, but it's still Pride of Jenni. 100 to go. There's no stopping her. What a performance. Pride of Jenni wins by 2 lengths, Mr. Brightside, Cascadian. She has run them into the ground. They were followed by Buffalo River, Ayrton, Dom to Shoot, Holy Man's, Desert Lightning, pinstriped, Munamek tractable, and Puntura has finished last of all.
There's no catching her. Pride of Jenni wins the 6th edition of the All-Star Mile. Tears for the owner ambassador, who's been part of the Pride of Jenni story for 48 hours and will walk away $100,000 richer. And Kieran Maher, the latest trophy to head towards his burgeoning cabinet is the All-Star Mile. 12, 1, 2 and 6. The cream rose, as we anticipated it might, given the composition of this year's race. Pride of Jenni, the Empire, the champions, and now strikes at the All-Star Mile. She's gone 3 wins in a row at the highest possible grade in this state at 1,600 metres. Mr. Brightside gallant. He had an enormous task to try and go back-to-back. He runs on into 2nd. He'll be on song for the Australian Cup. And Cascadian flies once again. He might have another duel to defend his title in the Australian Cup in a couple of weeks' time. Buffalo River, out to 1,600 metres, continues what's been a wonderful preparation thus far, running on into 4th. 1:35.22 they've run in the All-Star Mile, so they're just a second outside Fields of Omar's track record, but it was searing as expected, and Pride of Jenni stands tallest. 12.126, it's Pride of Jenni's All-Star Mile.
Huge congratulations to Declan Bates and Kieran Maher. They had a plan, they executed it to perfection, and the stoushes that Brightside and Jenni are having, it's going to be in racing folklore. It's sort of pretty even at the moment, Michael, but great ride from Declan Bates. He had a game plan, he took it, he chose the right part in the straight, and she never really looked like losing.
No, she never did. She never goes any slower than in the straight hut. She gets to her top speed from the 800 to the 400 and can maintain it, which she did today. And the best thing about Mr. Brightside, take my hat off to him, how good he went, was there's a bit of scenario B and C that we said this morning where he was going to be midfield, get some cover, which he did, but then take something back to the scenario C where he'd have to come to the outside and get around, and by doing that you get flushed out here on the corner at Caulfield, as we all know, and it gives you another 2.5 lengths to make up, which he couldn't on her.
Yeah, well, the thing is barriers. Barriers still make a big difference. He draws in and he's alongside. He can probably track her in the race. So
barriers win races.
It's a huge factor. That is taking absolutely nothing away from the winner, Pride of Jenni, because it didn't matter where she draws, she was going to have those tactics.
And a great training performance from Kieran Maher to resist having another run in between. And he had the 1,400 first up, have a trial, come to this